hopefully after hearing this, you'll be like, man, maybe I should look into something and figure out what's going on. Opensecrets.org, I suggest that. You can look where all the money is going, right? This mass deportation, it's a money grab. Look up Core Civic, look up Geo Group, look up how much money they've bribed Donald Trump with, look up the majority, again, over 60, it's almost 70% of that bribe money has gone to Republicans in Congress. Look at the stock positions Republicans in Congress have taken, right? They are profiting off concentration camps. This is all a money grab. Follow the money, Dwayne. That's the beauty about forensic accounting. You can figure it out. I know. You want MAGA to do research? I know. It's ironic. Hey, McDoodoo's dad, tell your son I said hi. My favorite nurse is here. Okay. I already went through these economic numbers, so we're not going to waste time on that. I went through Adam Schiff being insulted by Trump. I think it's time for the Jeff. We're going to move on to, and this actually, Dwayne, I hope you're still here. You need to hear this when Trump starts insulting your intelligence and gaslighting you, right? Because here's the thing. I was S8 as a child, right? I don't care who is touching kids. I don't care if it doesn't matter your political affiliation. It doesn't matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter if you're rich, and it doesn't matter if you're poor, right? You shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be abusing children. You shouldn't be abusing women. Now, the concern for people whose brains work is that we are now creating a society where if you have money, you are not a criminal. Right? If you have money, if you can bribe the president of the United States, you're no longer a criminal, right? So the poor, we get shoved through the system. We get incarcerated in for-profit private prisons, right? But if you are rich, no harm, no foul. If you're a rich white guy, you can do horrible things to children and no one cares. And one of the first things I could resonate with MAGA about was the fury over the Epstein list. Like, if there's one thing, there's a lot of things. I agree with the far right on a lot. When you're on, the political spectrum is more of a circle. You go far enough left, you end up on the right, and vice versa. I actually agree with MAGA on a lot of things. But the Epstein list is a particular pain point for me. Anybody who's abusing children should be exposed. And we are in a situation now where if you have money, apparently there's a never-ending cover-up that goes on. Trump ran on, hey, don't worry, I'll give you the list. We're going to bring these people to justice. Pam Bondi said, the list is on my desk right now. Now there's no list, right? I have clips. Actually, before we get this started, let me just remind everyone of something, because you're not going to believe what Trump did today in the White House. And again, he was trying to throw Democrats under the bus while insulting MAGA and saying he was going to stop support. He didn't even want some of his followers anymore who couldn't stop talking about the Epstein list. The most noble thing MAGA has ever done, is not let that list go. Truly. I don't think you ever should. I think you should keep fighting. This is Trump, though, just because today his new thing is the list is a hoax and it doesn't exist. MAGA, you fought this long. You were lied to by this man who promised to release all these files and the list. And now he's gaslighting us all saying it doesn't exist. Remember this Trump, the guy you voted for?
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem.
What do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
There are clip after clip. Thank you for the gum. I shouldn't chew gum during live streams of Trump talking about this list and saying, don't worry, we're going to expose it. We're going to figure this out. Oh, wait, I forgot. That's what I forgot. I knew this whole time I forgot something. Before we get, and it's right in front of my face. Perfect. The Jim Acosta clip. So as we get into this Epstein stuff, I want everyone to understand this. Also, first of all, just a reminder, Jim Acosta is an amazing, amazing journalist, one of the best left, right up there with Lawrence O'Donnell. And I want you to listen to what this man says, because I think particularly the last 30 seconds, like, nailed it. I have never missed a Trump rally. This is what I do for a living. Every single day I watch Donald Trump. I see the world in patterns. I actually have a high IQ. That's how I know Trump doesn't. And I've never seen Trump so worried about something. I've never seen Trump behave like this since I've known him. And horrible thing, like Trump has been covering up a lot, lying a lot, and MAGA's never challenged him. I've never seen Trump this worried or this skittish in my life.
Is more sophisticated now than computers.
Rarely has a Truth Social post lied so hard. I mean, that's my first reaction to that Truth Social post he put out last night. I mean, for years they were saying they were leading Democrats in the Epstein files. Now Donald Trump is saying on Truth Social that leading Democrats wrote the Epstein files and that they're a fake. And so, he's twisted himself into a pretzel on this. And it takes me back to that cabinet meeting that he had last Tuesday where, somebody asked the question of Pam Bondi about the Epstein files and he flipped out. And Ali, I've been around Donald Trump. I've been up close with him. I think I know when he's worried, and he is freaking out right now over these Epstein files. And it just raises the question, what is going on here? What is going on with Donald Trump and these Epstein files? We just don't know. And that's why Steve Bannon and so many others over the last several days have been saying, go ahead and release the Epstein files. Donald Trump, he's all for releasing the JFK files, the MLK files, all these other files, but not the Epstein files. And it begs the question, what gives? And Ali, the question that I had earlier this week when the Justice Department put out that memo that tried to sweep the whole thing under the rug is, did some kind of directive come out of the White House, come from Susie Wiles, Stephen Miller, or Donald Trump himself to put out that memo? And if that's the case, that ties this whole matter back to the White House. And so that's why I think the age-old Watergate question is operative here. What did the president know? When did he know it?
What did the president know and when did he know it? Now, that is reporting. Remember when there used to be real reporters in for-profit media? There's one. There's an actual journalist who we just heard speaking. Let's hear it for Jim. But that is, I have never seen Trump act like this in my life. Like, and pivot and obfuscate. And MAGA, it's simple. Actually, and I'm just going to show you something I showed everyone on Monday, because don't let Trump get you off the scent with his weird lies. This is super simple. And Jamie Raskin, who I'm not asking you to like him, I'm asking you to understand he's a constitutional scholar who might sit on the Supreme Court. His brain works well. And when you go to law school, I was pre-law. You learn deductive reasoning. That's what you sit there and do. I was also a philosophy major before I switched to history. That's what you learn to do is basically, as we say in advertising, keep it simple, stupid. There's not a lot of options of what Trump is doing here, right? And there's only a few. Here they are.
Doubt it. Maybe there are some Republicans doing that. And we do know, look, why would Trump not want to release it at this point when he's been demanding an open, complete, comprehensive accounting and release? Either one, he's implicated, and they don't want to doctor the tapes, or at least doctor them any further, because there is that mysterious 1 minute missing of the tape in the prison. But so either he's implicated, or there are other high-ranking Republicans he's covering up for, or there are people on there that he wants to use this as leverage against, which we know is also a big, MO for Donald Trump. He would like to have the coercive leverage of possessing this arsenal of information around them. It'd be much better for everybody to come clean, and let's vindicate the public interest here.
That's it. And that's deductive reasoning. Trump is trying to be oh, this and all this is going on and all this. And I'm telling you, I do not care. I'll say this. I think Bill Clinton, from what I know, and I'm a little too young to, I think, fully understand all of Bill Clinton corruption. But I've done a lot of reading. I used to be a historical researcher. Yeah, I think Bill Clinton is a creep. You know what I'm saying? If he's up in there, great. This is the point. It's not teams here. We are protecting children. And I want everyone to understand, yeah, like, if you've ever been creep vibes come off Bill Clinton. I think we can all just safely say Bill Clinton is an effing creep. That doesn't mean he didn't do some good things, but I mean, would you let him babysit your kid? No. And great. I do not care if you are a Republican, if you are a Democrat, has nothing. If you've touched a kid, get out of here. I think that this is the one thing we can all just come together and agree on. Even Margarine Taylor Greene is on the same page. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're hurting kids and you're trying to hide it because you're unbelievably wealthy, you need to be exposed. And like I said, you go far enough left, you end up on the right. There's many things I agree with the far right about. And this is the thing when they would never let this go. I always thought Trump's going to run on this, but what happens if he ever has to, pay the piper? And now we're seeing it. And look, and I don't think it's just those are the three options, but think about it. This is our relationship with our, the stepdad we hate, England. Prince Andrew's all up in there. God knows. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about however many billionaires are on this world. God knows who's in there. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's limited to the United States. I think there's probably a lot of things in those files that would embarrass a lot of people who have a lot of power, who have made a lot of threats. But I'll say this, my real problem is with the people sitting in the middle. Right? The people that are hey, these constant transfers of wealth are fine. Congress taking huge positions in the stock market and getting rich off insider information is fine. That's what bothers me. I don't mind MAGA being disruptors. There are a lot of things about MAGA that I'm good, keep going, keep asking, right? I just think sometimes you get lost. If in the defense of Donald Trump specifically. Right? When you look at the numbers, if Donald Trump had decreased the size of the swamp, I would say it, right? My positions are data driven, fact based, right? So if the math was mathing and he had shrunk the size of the swamp, Pam Bondi is the swamp. Please note, the Ice Maiden, Susie Wiles, his chief of staff, these are the true swamp. Lobbyists that didn't just lobby for corrupt rich people and corporations. They lobby for Middle Eastern countries, for foreign agents acting on U.S. soil. Trump is the swampiest of the swamp. And I don't even want to say his name because I feel then the minute I say his name, it's almost we stop agreeing. But what I want to say is, if you believe, right, what Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly were doing when they were doing the whole "it's Pam Bondi," it's not Pam Bondi, right? It's not. If Trump wanted that list released, and I'll show you, he attacked MAGA today in the White House. That's the first time I've ever seen him do something like that. And in a way, it was one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. And then I want to show, so let's get into the Epstein stuff. That was from Monday, but this is Mark Elias, which MAGA may or may not know. This is the guy who does all the voting rights cases for the Democratic Party. He runs the Mark Elias law firm. He held from Perkins Coie, one of the law firms Trump's after, because Trump no likey Mark Elias. And it's similar to what you heard Jamie Raskin saying, but I always like Mark Elias's brain.
Donald Trump, though, in the post you put on the screen, said something very, very important. And that is that he said that the Epstein files do exist because they were written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration. Now, this is no small thing because he is now saying there are Epstein files. We know these are Epstein files because he doesn't want to give them publicity because they are forgeries created by this list of Democrats. So Donald Trump is clearly laying the predicate that he is afraid that these files are going to see the light of day, whether that's because of a whistleblower or a leak or his hand is forced. But one way or another, these files are going to see the light of day. It suggests likely that they are unflattering for him and potentially embarrassing to him or to people close to him. And the last part of that post, he says, and I'm going to prosecute my political opponents. By the way, what needs to be being investigated is being investigated, which is a whole series of Democrats and conspiracies about Democrats. And so I think what you see in that one post is files exist. Maybe they come out, but I'm going to try to change the subject by suggesting wrongdoing on the part of Democrats.
Which is crazy and makes no sense, right? And we'll get into it, but another thing he's doing is the auto pen. Just know, MAGA, if I know some of you are listening, he signed all the J6 pardons with auto pen. Did you guys know that? He signed all the J6 pardons with auto pen, but I'm not saying invalidate the J6 pardons. Oh, I love these things. Should I be wearing a microphone like I'm Britney Spears? I'm going to look into that because like that. But I'm not even saying that, but actually I am saying that. Like, if you're saying, hey, I don't like Biden's pardons, let's invalidate them all, and then in doing so, let's invalidate all Trump's, because all the J6 pardons were auto pen. I'm fine with that. I don't care, because here's the thing, like, I don't appreciate a Nepo baby like Hunter Biden being pardoned either. Like, he made a bunch of dumb decisions. I can say I've read every bit of his congressional testimony. I've read all the court documents in the criminal case. And I can tell you that Joe Biden's not involved in anything his son did. And if he was investigated for 10 plus years now. And if there was any connection, if they could get Joe Biden, Trump would have, right? That's what he wanted. It's just, he's not. But do I get annoyed that, Hunter Biden is a spoiled kid who, again, rich people in this country seem to always get a free ride? Oh, yeah. You know what else annoys me? Trump's pay for pardon scheme. All of the rich people that have paid money to just get off and not have to face justice. Yeah, I don't want only poor people in this goddamn country in jail. Like, do we want to be Russia? That's where we're headed. Where by the whim of some guy, whoever he wants not to be in trouble is not in trouble, and whoever he does want to be in trouble is in trouble. But it's not even about that, because and I did this way back when the auto pen thing started. I think it was February or March, whenever they started with the auto pen. Yeah, none of that matters legally, right? Like, it doesn't. But just know, I don't know why Trump's pushing the auto pen thing. He signed every J6 pardon with auto pen. So I think it's just a distraction. It's kind of the same way he was like, yeah, I'll release the Epstein files. And when it was time to pay the piper, he's like, never mind. Like, who are all these Republicans that keep asking me to release the Epstein files? I refuse. Yeah, I think it's similar to that. Like, he's just distracting. You have to sing I'm Not That Innocent before the Britney. I'm not that innocent. Thank you for the super chat. Like, don't get me started. I'll do a whole live where I just cover Britney Spears. I was in the Phoenix Girls Choir, but I want to show you this. I just want to know it's going to start weird. Because I had to cut the beginning off because Brian Baez called Virginia Fox a cockeyed bee, and I just don't want my lives. So if you're like, this starts at a weird point, it does, because I was just like, he says it like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I cannot play this because my live's going to be taken down. So if you're like, why does it sound like this video's messed up? Well, let's zoom in. I mean, he's not necessarily lying. I'm the ghost. This is the ghost of Margarine Taylor Greene's future. In 7 to 10 years, Margarine will look just like this. But yeah, if you're wondering why this starts at a weird place, it's because I would be kicked off TikTok for what he's saying in the beginning.
Woman of the House and Rules Committee decided to take all her Republicans and vote.
I should give some precedent. So again, what we're doing now is Republicans, if you're here, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, you're like, I'm on the fringe, I don't care. I'm now going to show you how they've all betrayed you. Congress, all the promises about the Epstein files, I feel betrayed. The one good thing about Trump being elected was I was like, good. Hopefully we get that list because finally, as an SA survivor, I was like, good. I hope finally we'll hold some rich, horrible people accountable. So now what I'm going to show you is in the last 48 hours, how Congress has betrayed us all. Okay. And she is the ranking member. No, not the ranking member. The chair of the Rules Committee, because the Republicans have power. She's representative from North Carolina. If you're like, what the hell is the Rules Committee? I have no effing idea what you're talking about. That is the guard tower to the House floor, right? Any votes that move to the House floor go through the Rules Committee. This is where the power lies. And Ro Khanna, who, if you don't know him, a lot of MAGA likes him. If you've never heard of him before, I'll make an argument for him, right? Like, he's the leftist of the left. And what I want you to understand about the political spectrum is it's honestly a circle. Like, you go far enough left, you start sounding like a libertarian on the right. And Ro Khanna is a capitalist. I would almost say he might be actually a right-leaning libertarian. He introduced an amendment, right? So every week, in the Rules Committee, in order to move bills for votes on the floor, there's a rules package that has to be voted on and passed. And all Ro Khanna said, and I've heard a lot of lies, so at some point I'm going to just show you the amendment. It's clean, it's simple, it's like 3 or 4 paragraphs. I've read the whole thing. All it said was, hey, whatever bills, they voted on the crypto thing, there's like 2 or 3 things this week on the agenda. All the amendment said was, and we'll release whatever information the DOJ has about the Epstein files and protect the names of the victims. That's what it says. It just says, we're going to release the Epstein files, protect the names of the victims, of the children in the files. That's all. And this happened in the cover of darkness on Monday or Tuesday. I mean, it might have been Tuesday morning, right? Like, where a bunch of Republicans voted this down. And then we'll get to yesterday when they took it to the House floor as well. I'll show you all of it. But this is the betrayal to me, an SA victim.
Against the fucking measurement.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. Clerk will report the total.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. And I think most of us believe what's appropriate will be released when it is time for the president to release.
And here's the thing. I really don't even fucking understand why they're trying to die on this hill. Literally. Why are they trying to die on this hill? Steve Bannon, who's one of Donald Trump's closest fucking advisors, also a white supremacist, says that the GOP, the Republicans, are going to lose 40 fucking seats over these Epstein files. Like, they know this shit is sinking them. The only reason why they would be going along with this fucking plan and to support Trump even through this bullshit is because they know they've got some backdoor deal or backdoor information that knows that Trump is planning on creating legislation that's going to change the fucking elections, which they already said they were going to do with the Make American Elections Great Again bill, to make it so that they don't have to worry about facing voters in 2026 or
Talking about adding more seats in Texas and all of that. He's saying, I think not that innocent. No, I cannot do that every time.
2028.
I'm going to become one of those not NPC people on TikTok. I would love to do that. It would drive, actually it wouldn't. For like 1 hour, I would love to do it.
Fucking reason. Because literally all of your supporters were some of the biggest conspiracy theorists. Some of the biggest people who dove into these motherfucking files and have been reporting on this shit for years. And now thought that you were going to be the one anointed by God to save children, to save families, and all of this bullshit. And now you fucking disappointed them. Now they're mad as fuck at you. This is what's turning the tide. And by the way, let me also say this. Bullshit aside, let's come to motherfucking terms of what the fuck the reality is. None of these motherfuckers that are now going to
imagine if he hosted live streams on TikTok. Like, you cannot swear this much.
Because of the Epstein files, cared about everything else. They didn't care about the humanity of people. They didn't care about ripping families and children apart. They didn't give a fuck about people being put into concentration camps. They didn't give a fuck about their tariffs after knowing the fact that they've already lived through a fucking first term. Like, this is what fucking it took. Not the abuse of women. Because there was an adult woman that found liable on court, E. Jean Carroll. Okay, you stopped it at children, but literally all the other pieces. And there's still people in your flock that are still not believing it. It's fucking crazy.
Someone asked who this is. It is Brian Bias here. I'm going to pin it in the chat because I always recommend people follow him. I'm in this like press corps thing or creator corps thing for brown and black people, and he's in there, and I get to like hang out with him. He is so funny and so smart. He's hilarious. So I just want to point out, so that happened. What he's saying, I just want to make sure everyone's clear of the first time we were betrayed, so we get it all straight. That's the Rules Committee. So all Ro Khanna said is like, hey, whatever we're voting on, let's just attach an amendment that says we'll release the Epstein files and protect the children's names that are listed in there. So again, here's it in writing. Ro Khanna introduced an amendment to release the Epstein files in the Rules Committee, and it was rejected after Rep. Ralph Norman, South Carolina. Let's shame and name these weirdos. Oh, I'm sorry. I said it opposite. Ralph Norman voted for it. Sorry. Don't do anything. Don't be mad at Ralph Norman. He voted for it. He was the only Republican to vote for it. And just understand, not all the Rules Committee is pretty small, and not everyone was there. Always cowardly Chip Roy didn't show up. He heard this was going to happen, and so he didn't have to be on record voting it down. Did not come. So let's count Chip Roy as somebody who's fine with us letting rich people hurt kids. These are the Republicans who blocked the release. The people who were present to do it. Oh, sorry. You guys can't even see what I'm looking at. Okay. Chairwoman Virginia Fox, Michelle Fishbach, who's awful, Aaron Huchin, Nick Langworthy, Austin Scott, Morgan Griffith, Brian Jack. But I just want to say something. These aren't even like, it's like these are the subs of the people who didn't want to be there to do it. So I even blame these people less when, there's other like people like Chip Roy. And this on the bottom, you can see Elon Musk responded once this happened. It happened at, I think, Eastern time, 2 a.m. And Elon Musk was like, this is extremely troubling, which it is. It is. What are we hiding? I'm not going to read all this because I think I have most of it in clips. So now we move to yesterday, right? And I'm going to just show, because then Ro Khanna is like forcing this to the floor to make people vote more publicly. And this is Ted Lieu, who's the third in power. I want to tell you a story about a girl named Lucky. Don't make me think of Britney Spears when we do this, because now I can't think of anything else, and I have all her songs memorized.
Epstein, of Jeffrey Epstein's client list. In fact, she said that Jeffrey Epstein's client list is, quote, sitting on my desk right now. Where is that client list? What is Attorney General Pam Bondi hiding? She needs to release the Epstein files as soon as possible. I talked about the Epstein files under the Biden administration. I'm talking about it under the Trump administration. This is a case of the powerful protecting the powerful. We need to have those files released. I also note that the Epstein files that have already been released show that Trump is all over the files. He's in multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. There's multiple videos of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. There are plane logs of Trump on Epstein's plane. There are statements by Trump about Epstein. There are court pleadings of alleged victims of Epstein naming Trump. So we need to have these Epstein files released.
Someone said it shouldn't be up to Congress. Honestly, we don't even know if it is. I just want to point this out. And this is like, since we finally have an issue, like we all agree on, this is what's so scary. What if Congress did vote to do this? Would Trump release them anyway? We don't know. Think about it. Congress, like, this isn't like passing a bill. What if Congress passed a TikTok ban, which none of us want and we're all very angry about, and it was like a money grab and it was wrong? But when is that? Like, Congress, the legislative branch, allegedly the most powerful one that has impeachment power, passed a law, and we still done nothing about that. I don't know if Congress has power anymore. I honestly don't know. Like, I hope, like, that's why I say in the midterms, let's say if we want to force Actually, this is a good exercise because I've been thinking about this all night in my brain when I was making this presentation. If we want to force the release of the Epstein files, let's say we do pass a bill, like we get Congress to vote on it, we need like a 2/3 majority, because what if Trump just overrides anything passed? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Trump would listen if we had a super majority to override anything. I don't know. Like, we're in super uncharted territory. So I don't know, but we still need to try. Like, we still need to do everything we can to protect children and to protect ourselves. But yeah, that's the question. We don't know. And oh my, sorry. I literally just went through, like, I have no idea how that just happened, but that was way too many swipes. I was like 8 million movements. Sorry, I'm just slowly. I could do it a different way. Sorry, I'm taking so long to do this. I don't know why. Oh man, I'm not. Okay, yeah, now we're here. So again, I want you to watch because I want to show you. I know a lot about the Epstein stuff because it drives me insane. Oh, Ave, thank you so much for the $20 on Cash App. Glad you're back and your dad is okay. Yes. This is why I keep an eye on. My dad has diabetes and his A1C numbers were really bad. If you have no idea what's going on, if you've ever tried to convince a Hispanic male who was born in the 50s to take care of themselves, that's very hard. They don't do anything that they don't want to do. Anyways, so watch Howard Nutlick. His name is Lutnick, but it occurred to me one night after that whole Liberation Day tariff thing that his name is actually Nutlick if you just interchange the L in the end. Watch his face smiling, and then I'll show you why. Howard Nutlick literally lived next to Jeffrey Epstein, that famous townhouse in New York where all the kids were taken. Are you aware that Nutlick was his neighbor?
I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor.
This MAGA is you being gaslit. He's like, why would they be interested? You ran. You promised to protect children. And now you're asking us all why we're asking you to do what you promised us you would do. Like, understand what he's doing to you. I mean, he does it to us all the time, but he's doing it to you.
So interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
You know that paper is more sophisticated.
Smirk on Nutlick's face at the end. And I just want to say, if you ever, like, a lot of what Trump, like, about Ro Khanna, this is Ro Khanna's actual amendment. This is how short it is. I'm just saying, because one of the things, well, I think MAGA's figured it out now on X that it's not true, but people, Trump was having people say, oh no, they're trying to slip something in the amendment. That's not what it seems. That's why all Republicans voted against it on the House floor. No, I've read it. It's exactly what he said it was. It's just release the Epstein files and protect the children's names, the victims' names inside of it. This is how short it is. So, Lush, and I hate it. Thank you for the giveaway sub. We're 30 subs away from our gift goal. Thank you so much, W. Lush, and I hate it. Also, hate that you have the best name on TikTok. This is what I was talking about Netlick, though, by the way. Howard Lutnick, who was laughing it up next to Trump, was Epstein's neighbor in NYC and lived in one of his previous homes. Just to be clear, the homes also tops out at 120 feet while towering over its neighbors to the north and east, including Howard Nutlick of Cantor Fitzgerald, who bought the adjacent smaller townhouse owned by Victoria's Secret parent L Brands. If you know anything about Epstein and how he got his money originally, it was from the billionaire that owned the Victoria's Secret L Brands, and how his connection to the Victoria's Secret models and the ones, if you don't know the link between Jeffrey Epstein and the billionaire that owns Victoria's Secret, all of this is related, and apparently Nutlick's all up in there. Oh, well, there's many documentaries on this that really take you through it. It's not a secret. Jeffrey, the guy who owns L Brands, the billionaire was in Ohio, and Jeffrey Epstein, that's how Jeffrey Epstein got the capital to create the fund that made him his money. Yeah. Victoria's Secret is all involved in this. Okay, I don't have time. I have to pick and choose what I'm going through here. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Here's more. This is Trump yesterday again.
How many more? The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you
on what? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein. Okay. On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you? What did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No. She's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and years of that, with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
Trump, he's still trying to put it on her. Remember, he ran on. The Democrats have covered this up, and I'm going to release it. Now Comey wrote them? Why did you never say that before? You have to know. And if Comey wrote it, okay, release them anyways. Which he didn't, but you know what I'm saying. What difference does that make? Whatever you have, make it public. What are you talking about? This is a 180-degree turn from his original story. This is Trump gaslighting you. This is about children and Trump's lies. And I actually did not notice this the first time I watched that clip. So I'm going to show you another Brian Bias clip because I think, I never noticed what he was talking about. And honestly, I didn't, Caroline, she had work done. It almost didn't look like her. But I think this is a good point, too, about that clip.
She hangs her head in shame because she fucking knows. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who's standing right next to Donald Trump as a reporter asks him to his fucking face if he knows that his own name is inside the fucking Epstein files. And look at how he lies. And she knows that he's lying.
On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No. She's given us a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax.
She knows.
All of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it.
Mind you, in that long bullshit ass answer, he didn't deny that he was in the files or that his name was in the files. These are the same people who wear a cross.
It was the Comey thing that almost killed her. She was when he said James Comey wrote the files. Were you lying then, Trump, or were you lying now? Or in the words of James Acosta, who I think said it best, because he covered Nixon, what did Trump know and when did he know it? It can't be both. You are lying. You were lying to us all before, or you're lying to us now. Which one is it? That's what did she swallow her cross? I know, but and then he makes that point, but it's like I don't really want to get into the. And I just want to point this out. I don't know if we have to listen to all this, but Pam Bondi yesterday, like the reason this is being brought up, understand this is War on Illicit Substance Week in Congress and in the White House. It's S trafficking week. So that's why this is the ultimate slap in the face. The focus this week in Congress and the White House is on S trafficking. I kid you not. And on the war on illicit substances. And they're slapping us in the face and gaslighting us and being like, Epstein files. Oh, the random things James Comey made up. Like, that's not, thank you for the butterfly. That's not a thing. I have no, on S trafficking week. They're like, there's no S trafficking here. Like, we have no idea what, I'm not that innocent. Sorry, stop. I gotta stop doing that because I'll never stop. But this is Pam Bondi yesterday gaslighting everyone. But I just want to point out, this is not Pam Bondi's fault. Oh my God. Womanize. Yeah, Steph, thank you for the super chat. I'm reading super chats that are advice to sing songs. If you're like, why the F are you doing this? It's for YouTube super chats telling me to sing songs. This is Pam Bondi yesterday, which I don't know how much of this I want to play because I don't want to get in trouble because, you know, sometimes when you list the specific names of illicit substances, you get in trouble. But yeah, this is them trying to ask Pam Bondi over and over yesterday, like, hey, what about this?
Really pretty general in response to questions. Comments that President Trump made a short time ago, just a few months ago on the South Lawn. He said that he would support you release.
She's saying, because I know it's hard to hear, she's saying like, hey, it's the clip. She's referencing the clip I just showed you. She's like, hey, we were just talking to Trump on the South Lawn, and he said, anything you deem credible, you can release, you know? So like, what are you going to release to us of the Epstein files? That's what she's saying.
Additional credible evidence from the Epstein investigation. Is that something that you are open to doing? He said this just a few months ago.
This today is about fentanyl. This is about a wall of people right outside this room who have died from. I appreciate your question.
It's not just war on illicit substance week, it's war on S trafficking too. So it is a relevant question.
This today is about fentanyl overdoses throughout our country and people who have lost loved ones to fentanyl. That's the message that we're here to send today. Nothing about.
What about kids that have been trafficked? Because that's also what you guys said this week was about. And she just basically says the same thing again. You know, she's asked over and over. And then I don't know if anyone's seen, I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard. This is what Trump then released today. This is today. Now he's just completely doing a 180 and so again, it's were you lying then or are you lying now, and why? The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, like the lying 51 intelligence agents, which the laptop from hell, which Dems swore had come from Russia. Which, yeah, you can. It's not the laptop. This is a longer story. I don't have time to correct his lies anymore. And even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss. Yeah, no. Presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. So the whole, everything you campaigned on then was a lie. And you knew this was all made up and you lied about it to get elected, which we know it's not made up. Just understand too, Pam Bondi, I knew it. I got a violation. I knew I should not play that clip of Pam Bondi saying that. I'm just reporting on the news. I knew if she said, the F illicit substance, I knew I was going to get in trouble. That's why I didn't play the second one. At least I was smart enough the second time to not play it every single time. Okay, that's my first violation. Usually I get like 4 before I'm kicked off the internet. I really don't want to be banned. Okay, so their new scam is what we forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And listen, and this is what I'm saying, MAGA. He's right now trying to say, like, not all of you I want to go forward with. My past supporters have bought into this bullshit. That's you, MAGA. My past, in all caps. He's saying, if you let go trying to protect children, he no longer wants you anymore. And he didn't just write this down. He also yelled it in the White House, in the Oval Office, while the Prime Minister of Bahrain's like, is there an eject button to my seat? Like, can I please leave here? Thank you. Supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't. This is you, MAGA. He's talking to you. My past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will. He's calling you dumb. Even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years, I don't know what 8 years he's talking about. I have had more success in 6 months. Mathematically, all of this is easily proved incorrect than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about, again, he keeps insulting you, with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems, is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. He's saying it's all a hoax now, that no children were ever abused. We know. Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for 20 years for a hoax. Should someone let Ghislaine Maxwell out of jail? Like, what the is he talking about? Someone should probably let the person in jail for 20 years out if this is a hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. I just want to be clear. He's not calling us weaklings. He's calling you, MAGA. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. I just want you to know, MAGA, he does not want you anymore if you want to protect children from rich men trafficking. He would no longer like your support. And he wrote it all down. Literally wrote it all down. Because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. I'm not saying it. He said it. If you want, if you're interested in what Jeffrey, and I didn't say Jeffrey Epstein's jet was called the Lolita Express. That's what all the rich men who were trafficking children on it called it. I don't know if you guys know this. Did you know that the first time Trump, and you can read more into this. Look into journalist Michael Wolff, who interviewed Trump the first time Trump met Melania through Jeffrey Epstein. And the first time they had sex was on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express. Yeah. This is all documented. And now this guy's saying, every single thing we all know for sure happened never happened. This is insane. And I know, MAGA, because you guys have been into this more than I have, right? And this is what I just got in trouble. Oh, wait, it said I could appeal and I didn't. Wait, if you accidentally push a button and you, sorry. I just got a violation and I didn't appeal it, and I think I got a lot of. Oops. It was like, appeal if you want. Shit. That was bad. Oh well. I don't know what to do about that. That was an accident. I should have appealed that and I didn't. It was like, appeal if you want, and I accidentally pushed OK instead of appeal. But it's not in my list. Oops. Yep. I don't know. Okay, well, let's all tap the screen because I think I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, so this is this morning, Robert Garcia on the House floor talking about this.
I rise today to demand that Donald Trump and our Attorney General come clean to the American people and release the Epstein files. Now, this weekend, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Let's not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about." Well, Mr. President, a lot of people actually care. And we know that MAGA was all in on Jeffrey Epstein. Now, my Republican colleagues have sent letters, they've posted, they've demanded disclosure. Donald Trump Jr., the president's own son, has tweeted dozens of times about this case. FBI Director Kash Patel swore under oath in front of the Senate that he would be transparent with the American public and release the Epstein files. He said, and I want to quote, "Make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened," that he would do that. That was his quote. Now, in February, our Attorney General Pam Bondi told Fox News that Epstein's client list was, again, and I quote, "sitting on my desk right now to review," end quote. Now, they claim there was never a list. And this weekend, Donald Trump claimed that the files were written by Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the Biden administration. These are bizarre reversals. And it's obvious to the American public. Someone is lying, and someone is trying to hide something. So let's look at the facts. We know Elon Musk said publicly on June 5th that Donald Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files. We know that Epstein died in a federal prison overseen by Donald Trump's Department of Justice. We know that Jeffrey Epstein in 2008 was given a generous non-prosecution agreement for sex trafficking charges. Now, that agreement let him continue his criminal activities, and that agreement was offered by Alexandra Acosta, who was Donald Trump's chosen Secretary of Labor. That's not all. We know that Donald Trump and Epstein had a long-standing personal relationship. Epstein told one writer, and I quote, "I was Donald Trump's closest friend for 10 years," end quote. Donald Trump told New York Magazine in 2002, and I want to quote this. Quote, this is Donald Trump. "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life," unquote. That's disgusting, wrong, and we must inquire more information. The truth is we don't know what the facts are in this case. I rise today to demand.
Okay, I figured out, sorry, I just had to quickly call someone and be like, how can I undo, like, if I didn't appeal? I figured it out. So the appeal is now in progress, because I do think it's fair that everyone this is just the United States Congress talking. I don't know what's wrong, what would be wrong with that, unless, I'm going to try. I knew I should not play that Pam Bondi video. Okay, so, and I want everyone to hear this before we see the vote that happened in Congress, the betrayal in Congress yesterday. And hopefully we win this appeal, because it does now say in progress. Okay, let's all tap the screen and share the live. The arrow in the bottom right corner, you can share the live with people, push the copy link button, that counts as a share. And hopefully, I don't think we did anything that bad. Like, the Attorney General was talking in a press conference, so whatever. Okay, again, this is Eric Swalwell, one of my favorite representatives from California. I've only donated to one campaign in my life, and it was $5 to his. Talking about the vote right after he voted and what was happening with it. Did I miss subscriptions? Thank you for subscribing, Amanda. And then Jay, I saw you extended your subscription. Thank you so much. Again, this is Eric Swalwell. Whilst Ro Khanna is now forcing the vote to the floor to try to get the Epstein files released. And a no vote is what we want to see, right? It's to continue the debate, the debate, and
is more sophisticated now.
Oh, I got in appeal. I just got in trouble again. Why are people? You know what's really weird? I just got another violation and appealed it, and I think that's very strange. Like, if people are reporting this live, like, why would the truth matter to you? Why would what happened yesterday in Congress be so threatening? That's what's super strange to me, is that nobody wants anyone to hear what happened in Congress yesterday. Strange.
You know that paper is more sophisticated now than
I want to tell you something that just happened on the House floor. Republicans are voting against releasing the Epstein files. And you're probably asking, well, how is that the case? Here's what happened. Last night at the Rules Committee, we voted on, or the Rules Committee voted on, what would be in the debate rules for the week. Democrats offered an amendment to release the Epstein files, a part of the legislation that we're voting on this week. Republicans voted against it. So now, to pass their rules package, which would control what bills we pass this week, they have to again vote against the Democrats and what we are suggesting, which is any bill this week should include releasing the Epstein files. So that's on the full floor right now. I just voted. Republicans across the board are voting against releasing the Epstein files. And the question I have is, why? I know why Donald Trump would not want these out there. Elon Musk told us already. I know why Kash Patel and Dan Bongino don't want it out there. They're just going to follow Donald Trump. But House Republicans have the subpoena power. And if they're not willing to use it, Democrats have a lot we can do. Votes like this, but also stay tuned, because I know there's a deep and wide interest in rooting out corruption at all levels. And if Donald Trump and Pam Bondi promised there are files, either they are world-class bullshitters or they are burying files. And we need to know why and who to hold accountable that's helping them bury them. So Democrats have a lot we can do, and obviously in a majority with subpoena power, everything changes.
And when he says subpoena power, like, for instance, Jamie Raskin is the ranking member of Judiciary, and he's like, at any moment, understand this, MAGA, they can subpoena Dan Bongino, who very clearly wants to talk, right? They can subpoena these people, and we can get them under oath and just say, hey, like, what do you know? What did you see? What's in the files? Like, we can just, MAGA, you have the majority. You're controlling all of government. This can happen. We can get this done. You just have to keep pressuring them. So again, that was while the vote's going on. This is Scanlon on the House floor before they voted to try to continue the debate and release the Epstein files. All right. This is the ranking member on the House floor yesterday. Normally it's Jim McGovern, but yesterday Scanlon was doing it.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, if we defeat the previous question, I will offer an amendment to the rule to make in order amendment number 50 to H.R. 3633, offered by Representative Khanna, which requires the Attorney General to preserve and release any records related to Jeffrey Epstein. I applaud my colleagues, Representatives Veazey and Khanna, for their work to release the Epstein files. I strongly support these efforts and the release of the files. Last night at the Rules Committee, Republicans rejected an amendment that would have required the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files, multiple criminal investigations which allegedly documented trafficking of young women and girls by Jeffrey Epstein, a sex offender and financier with whom the president often socialized. For years, the president and those in his orbit, including Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, alleged that prior administrations had covered up the identities of the rich and powerful people to whom Epstein had trafficked the girls, and the facts surrounding his allegedly suspicious death. They came into office pledging to seek accountability for the horrific crimes by revealing Epstein's client list and other information, but recently backtracked and refused to release any further information. There appear to be only two explanations for this about-face. Either the Epstein files did not contain the explosive information that Trump and his allies claimed during his campaign, or this administration is the one covering up what's in the files. So last night, all of the Republicans on the Rules Committee, except one, voted against releasing the files. Why would they try to prevent the truth about Epstein's abuse and those he enabled from coming out? That's anybody's guess. But with this previous question, the entire Republican conference has the opportunity to correct that mistake. They can vote today to release the Epstein files. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to insert the text of my amendment into the record, along with any extraneous material, immediately prior to the vote on the previous question.
Okay, so you know how, so I lost that appeal and I just literally spent my own money to promote the live. So let's all tap the screen, but I mean, like, apparently, if you get in trouble, because this is the irony of this, and I never knew you could do this. You know how there's like a promote button, you can actually pay to have your live put out? So apparently they don't want to act, they're just like, we're not going to push your live out. But I was like, fine, I'll pay so everyone can hear this. And apparently that's allowed. No, I know, but I don't, well, they give you like all these coupons. So it's like, but I mean, just saying, so I just pay because I do think people should hear this. I don't think anyone should not want children to be protected. I think that's super strange. Like, why are we not protecting kids?
Would the gentleman wish to yield additional time?
An additional 30 seconds. Thank you.
Gentleman's recognized.
In our America, no one is beyond accountability. We will not forget. We will not look away, and we will not stop demanding the truth. We demand the immediate release of the Epstein files. No more games, no more lies, no more protection for predators hiding behind the rich and powerful. I yield back.
It's really that simple. Like, it doesn't matter what your political affiliations are. Just because you have money doesn't mean you, like, the U.S. government should protect you from facing justice. Thank you so much. Let's all tap the screen. Let's get to 600K as fast as possible. Also share the live. I think I'm promoting it with actual money because, you know, like, this is worth it. We should all agree. If there's one thing we can ever all agree on in life, it's like, what if we're not going to do this? Like, we should all give up.
You know that paper.
Department funding, but we think that the administration should release these files, and it really is a little confusing, I think, on why suddenly our Republican colleagues are blocking this, but perhaps it was a mistake. At least one Republican voted with Democrats last night to release the files, and so this would just give all of our colleagues the opportunity to say what they've been saying for so many years, that the Epstein files should be released. Department fund.
Exactly. Even Ralph Norman voted yes yesterday. I mean, shocker, he didn't again. Okay, so this is the moment. This is what I really want people to hear. This is Ro Khanna, the man who wrote the amendment. And understand, Representative Ro Khanna of California represents the richest district in the country. This is the man who represents the most billionaires in the country, who still has the most guts to stand up for what is right. This is the man who represents Silicon Valley, right? And this is his speech yesterday, or it's not like 10 minutes, but it's good. And if you've never heard Ro Khanna speak before, whether you're far right or far left, he's always fair, he's always reasonable, he's always on a line of logic, and it makes sense.
Last night, the Speaker's Rules Committee voted to block my amendment that called for the full release of the Epstein files while protecting the victim's identity. Let's just be clear. They voted to protect rich and powerful men who were abusing, assaulting, and abandoning young women. That's what this vote is about. A nation that chooses impunity for the rich and the powerful at the expense of our children is a nation that has lost its moral purpose. So you ask, why did they vote this way? Let's speak plainly. Because these rich and powerful men donate to the politicians in Washington, D.C., play golf with the elites in Washington, D.C., they are foreign leaders who we don't want to offend. They interact with our intelligence agencies that we don't want to disobey. There is something rotten in Washington. And this is a question of whose side are you on? Are you on the side of the people? Are you on the side of America's children? Or are you on the side of the rich and powerful who've had their thumb on the scales and shafted Americans for decades? We are going to get a vote again this afternoon. And I hope people will find the courage of a Republican like Ralph Norman, or a Republican like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or a Republican like Thomas Massey, or the many, many MAGA Republicans who are demanding the full release of the Epstein files. It's not a question just of Epstein. It's a question of trust in our democracy. It's a question of restoring a government of the people, by the
gentleman's
people,
time has
for the
expired.
people.
Just a moment. Does the gentlelady wish to yield any additional
Another
time?
30 seconds.
The gentleman has an additional 30 seconds.
And it's a question of the rebirth of a nation that stands for our children. I hope everyone in this up or down vote will vote to make sure that the Epstein files are released while protecting victims' identity.
I mean, it's that simple. This is the one thing the far left, the far right agree on. Why can't we just protect children together? Like, it's sickening.
This is Crypto Week. It's also Tax Evaders Month, National Drug Dealers Day, and Human Traffickers Tuesday. Vote no on this.
Understand that, whether you're MAGA, whether you're far left, whether you're floating in the middle and annoying the rest of us, it is human traffickers. That's what this week is about. That's what they're focusing on in Congress. That's what they're focusing on in the White House. And we are being gaslit that after Trump ran on the Epstein files, now he's not just attacking the left about it. He's attacking MAGA and saying, oh, you guys are all idiots who've been duped by the left. Either Trump lied the entire time he was running for president, or he's lying now. There's no excuse. I don't care. I fully expect, I don't want to get sued. Let me just say this. I will not personally be surprised if Bill Clinton's all up in there. Great. I don't care who's in there. If you have hurt children, people should know about it, right?